Greetings. I am Pastor Steele, soon to be starting as the interim senior pastor at Salem Lutheran Church in Catonsville here, which I'm looking forward to very much. I'm getting to know Salem a little bit through meeting with the council and Pastor Carolyn, but I have much more to learn and many more people to meet and be acquainted with. My experience has been varied over the years. I am from South Carolina, where I grew up, went to the University of South Carolina, and I graduated from the Philadelphia Lutheran Seminary, did my 15-month internship in Cairo, Egypt, and then served various congregations in New York City and Harlem, and 2 congregations in New Jersey, the most famous of which would have been the one in Asbury Park, I guess, Bruce Springsteen and such. Then I started working in Lutheran social ministry groups. My first one is Lutheran Social Ministry New Jersey, where I was vice president for housing development and community development. And it was something new for the agency, and I worked very diligently and built up our inventory. I think while I was there, built probably over 1,500 apartments and for sale houses. Now these were specific to people of need, meaning to the elderly of a limited income, to limited income families, special needs, homeless, HIV folks with children, things of that nature, up and down New Jersey, and did that for a number of years. Then I was asked by the mayor of Trenton to become a part of his cabinet and the director of housing and community development, which included planning and a number of things. Fascinating experience, but probably not my cup of tea. Like they said, no politics are like local politics, and that was certainly true there. Then I went to Daikon Lutheran Social Ministries, which brought me to Baltimore. They've asked me to join the agency to do what I did in New Jersey. So I came to Baltimore, and I was here in Baltimore for a number of years, probably about 5, 6, and worked with more community organizing and community development, being an advocate for communities that were very challenged. I worked mostly in East Baltimore with different neighborhood groups. We bought some vacant properties, had them rehab and sold to more stabilize the community as much as possible. Then on North Avenue, took an old Sears auto site and transformed that into a place for a daycare and offices and other services as a dental service there and stuff, which was very needed in that neighborhood as well. After that, I did a few other things. In Maryland, I went to the Eastern Shore and was executive director of a smaller agency there, and then went back into parish ministry at St. Mark's in Hagerstown, and then Jerusalem and Swingsville, Pennsylvania. And now we'll be starting here at Salem. My family, married to Stephanie Steele, she's a pastor as well, retired, and 3 children, the oldest of which is Andrew, who will be getting married in 2 weeks. He works for Global Refuge, which was Lutheran Immigration Refugee Services. Also worked for Churchwide for a number of years in his college and fund development. Victoria's my oldest daughter. She's a teacher in Montgomery County, and so is her husband Jackson, and our 2 granddaughters, Olivia and Lily, which of course the most beautiful, gifted, everybody has those grandchildren. And then my youngest daughter Rachel, who works in the Frederick County school system, and she's not married, she's still single. My interests are varied a little bit. I like to read, I like to travel. I really like movies and theater and that sort of thing. I believe they can be very insightful to life and also just simply entertaining. I have a bicycle, which I have not ridden enough. I hope to get into that more, and maybe some other things. But I'll be starting July 1st. I'm really looking forward to the time here at Salem. In conversations with the council primarily, I know this is a big adjustment for Salem with Pastor Dave retiring. I know Dave a bit. He's a tremendous person and pastor. And it's the first time in quite some time that you have to go through a call process for a senior pastor, which is also something new. My goal when I'm here, as long as it takes until you find the next pastor, is to keep this ship steady and in good shape and moving forward. I think Salem is a very healthy congregation and vibrant congregation. I'm sure there's always little struggles here and there, but overall I think it's a good place to be and worship and share the gospel and support to one another. And I just want to be a part of that and help you through this time and help you understand it's going to be okay. There probably is some anxiety about all this, but it will be okay. I know that's said a lot in situations like this, but we'll be together to work through this, and I'll be here, and Pastor Caroline very much so. So I think this transition time will be no time of great change, mostly a time of just continuing the good ministries that are going on, the worship experience to be impactful, and other ministries that you support one another and care for one another. And that's what my intent is. I'm always available to you. I believe conversations with folks is very important, and relationships in churches are extremely important. I try to be as transparent as I can without divulging confidential information. But my door's always open, as they say. I'm always available. My cell phone's never turned off. So if anyone ever needs me or wants to just talk or wants to discuss something, I would love that and invite you to do it when that need arises, or just have a cup of coffee and talk about sports or the weather or life in general. But I'm looking forward, like I said before, to getting better acquainted and working with you for the glory of God in this location. I enjoy worship. I enjoy leading worship. I tilt a little bit towards respecting the liturgy and doing it in a way that is enriching people's lives. Now, I know some people feel that the liturgy is repetitive every week and such things, but there's a beauty and a rhythm to it that still, I think, for those of us who are used to it, feeds our souls and helps us quite a lot. I do chant at times, so I will try to do that some. My preaching style is I don't do a full manuscript, meaning I don't write out every word, because if I do, I become dependent on it. I write out phrases, and knowing where I do know where I'm going and how I'm going to get there. I use my hands and such, but I also preach quite a lot from the aisle or just outside the pulpit. I find that helps me connect to the congregation and they to me. People have commented that they listen more in some ways in that way. So I'll probably do that somewhat. I love telling stories in sermons that, people say, why you tell stories about your own self? Well, that's the stories I know best, not to build myself up, but to use them as examples to the biblical story and hopefully to people's story and go from there. I love humor in worship and in sermons. I think laughter is a gift from God, and even in church we can laugh appropriately and good. And I want the liturgy and worship to be alive. I never want it to be stale or so rigid, but have a life to it and an energy to it. Music's very important to worship as well. So I invite you to give me feedback as I'm here on the sermons and even worship leadership, if you will. It's good for me to have that and know how things are going across to you.